Am I the a-hole for going no contact with my mom after she left me with my dad when I was 8? I, 30F, was raised mostly by my dad after my mom left us when I was about 8 years old. She moved to another country for work, and from then on, my life was split in two. The father who stayed and gave everything he had to raise me, and the mother who left, and, over time, became a stranger. Some background for context. Both of my parents had daughters from previous marriages. They met in their 40s, after my dad's first wife passed away. My mom had an older daughter from her previous relationship. I'll call her Anna. My dad also had a daughter, my half-sister on his side, but she was already living on her own when I was young. In the early years, my parents seemed to work as a team. But when I was 8, everything changed. My mom decided she needed to move abroad for a better job opportunity. At least, that's what she told us. She left me in my dad's care and said she'd send money back and visit when she could. And she did sometimes. She'd send money now and then, but not regularly. She came to visit maybe once or twice a year. But here's the thing, when she did visit, she never really spent time with me. Instead, she'd make me and my dad travel with her, so she could see her daughter Anna and her side of the family. All her time and attention was spent with them, and my dad and I were often left on the sidelines like afterthoughts. To be honest, that side of the family never really welcomed me. Anna was cruel, mean, and physically abusive when no one was around. She would beat me up, call me names, and make me feel like I didn't belong. My mom? She never saw it. And when I tried to tell her, she brushed it off or made excuses for Anna's behavior. My dad, though, he was my rock. He took care of me with everything he had. He worked full-time, made sure I stayed in school, and never once made me feel like I was a burden. He even treated Anna with kindness when she visited, despite everything. He truly was the only consistent parent I had. Whenever my mom did call or visit, it usually ended in fights. She would argue with my dad, accuse him of being lazy, of poisoning me against her. She claimed that he was keeping me away from her, which couldn't be further from the truth. For years, my dad tried to make it work. He begged her to help him find a job abroad, so we could join her and be a family again. But she always had an excuse. There was always some reason we couldn't come. And deep down, even as a child, I could see it. She didn't want us there. She would occasionally send a few $100s, claiming it was to help my dad with my expenses, but he never asked for it. He had a good job and was more than capable of raising me without her help. It felt more like a performance, like she needed to be able to say she was doing her part, even if the reality was very different. The emotional neglect got worse over time. When I was about 12, I had to be hospitalized for several days because of my appendix. My mom didn't come. She said she couldn't afford the flight. Yet, a few days later, her mother had a routine checkup and she immediately flew in to be with her. That hurt more than I can describe. Through all of this, my dad never filed for divorce. He still held out hope she'd come back. I think part of him couldn't let go of the woman he once loved. But mostly, I think he didn't want to deal with lawyers or drama. He tried to protect me from all of it. Still, I would hear them argue on the phone. She'd scream at him, accuse him of turning me against her. She said awful things, called him a lowlife, said he never cared about me, blamed him for everything. But I knew the truth. I lived the truth. And every time she blamed him, I could see it in his eyes, the sadness, the helplessness, the quiet strength it took not to lash out. About 10 years ago, things came to a head. A few of my dad's friends moved into the same building where my mom lived with a new man. They saw her, recognized her, and told my dad. She'd been in a relationship for years, while still married to my father. When we confronted her, she denied it, called us liars, and again accused my dad of brainwashing me. It was maddening. After that, the visits stopped altogether. She would still call, but instead of asking how I was doing, we'd end up arguing. I'd try to get answers, closure, something, but she always deflected. She never apologized. She never admitted anything. And the more I pushed, the more she dug in. Then, 2 years ago, everything exploded. Out of the blue, she came back. She begged my dad to take her back. She said she had nowhere else to go. And my dad, bless his heart, took her in. He still loved her, or maybe just pitied her. But as soon as she moved in, the peace was shattered. She picked fights over everything. She accused him of stealing her money to renovate the house he inherited from my grandmother. Completely false. He'd done all the work himself. She had never sent a cent. She blamed him for me not visiting, said it was his fault. I didn't want a relationship with her. She even insulted the life he had built for himself, a simple, peaceful life in a rural area with animals and a small garden. She couldn't stand the fact that he had managed to build something without her. I reached my breaking point. I tried one last time to have a conversation with her. I wanted to clear the air, explain how I felt, and give her a chance to see things from my perspective. Instead, she blew up at me. She called me ungrateful. She said I had no right to judge her. She claimed she'd done everything she could to be a good mother. She even accused me, again, of being brainwashed by my dad. Last December, my dad came to visit me and my partner for a few days. We had a wonderful time. But while he was with us, she called constantly, every few minutes. She couldn't handle being alone for even a short while. At one point, I answered and told her to stop and let him enjoy his trip. She lost it, screamed, cursed, accused me of turning him against her. We ended the call. A few hours later, she called again, this time furious because the heating system at the house had broken. She blamed my dad, said it was his fault for leaving her in the cold. He calmly told her to call the repair guy or wait until he got home. She screamed some more and hung up. When we drove my dad back home, I came face to face with her one last time. We argued. I told her everything, every painful memory, every abandonment, every moment she chose herself, her daughter, her family over me. I told her how much it hurt to grow up feeling invisible to my own mother. And I told her, very clearly, that I was going no contact. Since then, I haven't spoken to her. I still talk to my dad whenever she's not around. He supports my decision, even if it makes things harder for him. And honestly, I feel relieved. Like a weight has lifted. She's done a lot more over the years, more hurt, more damage, but this is the heart of the story. So, am I the a-hole for going no contact with my mom after she left me with my dad when I was 8?